Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm working with Equinox, which is the new release from Traci Reed. I'm going to be making a page for my Traveller's Notebook album, which I made myself because I can't get, well, I could get them from Citrus Twist, but they're too expensive to get shipped to the UK, so I've made my own. So I'm going to be making a double page spread to go into there. I've already chosen my papers. I'm using this Traveller's Notebook signature, and then I've chosen some of the solid cardstock colours that Traci releases with all of her collections. And then I've got a couple of pattern papers. I've got an offcut here from doing my layout, which you will have seen on release day. I've got a 3x4 card, my photograph, and then I've picked out a few embellishments that I want to use. So it's going to be very quick, this one. I will probably speed it up, but I don't think it's going to take me that long because I know exactly what I want to do. So here we go. So I said I knew exactly what I wanted to do, which I did. It did take me slightly longer. I've cut the bits out, but what happened was I grabbed the paper, this sunflower paper, to do an edge down the strip of each of the Traveller's Notebook signatures, because I'm putting them into my album without page protectors, so they need to be that bit wider. Stuck them down absolutely fine. But then what I did when I punched the holes, I punched them in the wrong side. So I had to pull up the strips, cut new strips, stick them back down and punch the holes again. But I cut all that bit out for you. As you can see, I've extended the size of the pages here by putting that strip of sunflower paper down each side of the Traveller's Notebook signatures there, which just brings the two pages together. So you've got the same pattern both sides. And now I'm preparing the photo mat for the right hand side. And I decided to distress the edges of the green pattern paper, and I also distressed the edges of the wood grain 3x4 card before I stick that down. I didn't distress the edges of the solid green cardstock because I just did that with a very narrow border around the photo, and I decided if I distress that, then it was just going to get rid of all the paper and you wouldn't actually see it. I did audition the solid orange cardstock to see if I wanted to put a layer of that behind the photo as well, but that just got lost on the orange pattern paper there, so I decided to do without that. So having stuck down my photo onto the photo mat, I chose these two lovely tags to go above my photo. The one with the sunflower on, I think says you belong amongst the wildflowers, which this is a picture of my daughter when we went to Hyde Hall, an RHS garden that's near to us, and she's crouched down next to these flowers called sneezeweed, which I keep calling sneezewort, sneezeweed, which aren't actually a wildflower, they're a cultivated flower, but they're so pretty. And we just fell in love with them and fell in love with the name, which you will have seen from my layout that I did for the launch. But anyway, this Equinox collection was absolutely perfect for documenting our little trip up there. We had a photo, we took a selfie with some sunflowers while we were up there, and then these, I say, these sneezeweeds, the perfect colour to go with this collection. So it was a joy to create this Traveller's Notebook spread. Popping in a little cluster to the bottom right of the photo, and now adding some twine, well actually it's crochet thread, to the tags and tying them in bows. Now with the bees, I thought I'd try and be clever and use some Nuvo drops to put in the stripes, which I did, and then put in a yellow, did some brown, then did a yellow stripe. The yellow wasn't right, so I then popped some orange on top of the yellow, and it just went all smudgy and horrible. So I actually end up pulling them off and sticking down just two plain bees again later on in the video. So now over onto the left hand page, this beautiful Traveller's Notebook signature, which I'm using as my title, and I just wanted to add a few little bits and pieces to this just to jazz it up a bit, and not that it needs much jazzing up to be honest, but to tie it in with the right hand side by adding some flowers, especially that big sunflower down the bottom left to tie in with the one on the cluster on the right hand side on the photo, and also to bring in a third bee, so I've got 3 bees across the spread. Just raised the sunflower up on some foam. Didn't raise much of this layout up on foam, just a couple of bits and pieces. Most of the bits I just stuck down flat. I didn't really feel it needed a dimension on this one for some reason, but I do absolutely love how this spread came together. And although I had to correct the bits where I punched the holes in wrong, it did actually come together very quickly, as you'll see from this video, because I only sped it up I think 2.5 times or 2 times, I can't remember now, and it's still quite a short video. So here we are, just putting that little trail down on the bee, having replaced the bees with some fresh bees that don't have Nouveau drops on. And then I always glue down my bows when I tie them, because otherwise I don't like how they look, and I like them to look in a particular way. So having finished gluing down those bows, I then grabbed the orange Nouveau drops and just gave each of the little bees a little trail, which when it dries, that looks really nice and shiny. And then I found some gold gems that I had and scattered them about on both sides of the page. So I really enjoyed playing with Equinox. It is a lovely, lovely collection. And if you want to buy it yourself, pop over to Traci's blog, where you'll find a link to it, and also a link to everybody else who's participating in this hop. So there we have it, my finished Traveller's Notebook pages. Obviously the dots need to just dry on these bee trails. I've smudged that one very slightly, but I'm not going to worry about that. Apologise for the sun coming in. It's early evening and the sun is now setting behind me, and I'm trying to block it off. So I need to finish this quickly now. There will be close-ups of this spread on my Instagram page. Thank you for joining me today. This is a YouTube hop for Equinox, so please pop along and look at everybody else's videos. There is a link in the description box below. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and if you don't already subscribe, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.